Sup guys, it's Alex here, and today I have a new Bracketology update video for you guys. This one is for November 30th. Today is the 2nd, it's going to be up today. I've just been busy with work and all that, getting some finals done at college, and now I'm able to make the Bracketology video. So, just a bit of a reaction. Arizona fell from a 2 seed to a 6 seed because they just lost 3 games in a row. They went from number 2 in the nation to being unranked, which is almost unheard of. There's only been one other program to do it, and that was Louisville back in, I think, the 50s, I want to say. But then Wichita State moved up to a 2 seed, so did Notre Dame. Kentucky moved up a line over to the right side in the Midwest. They'd be playing in Nashville, where I'd get to see them play. And just a couple of other things. Texas A&M is up to a 3 seed. Virginia's up to a 3 seed. North Carolina fell to a 3 seed. So there's a little bit of how the bracketology is looking right now from Joe Lunardi. And as always, I'll put this link in the description for you guys to vote. It's going to be up there. I created a bracket, so you guys can vote. Put your thoughts in there. We'll see who the nation thinks is the best team and that's going to win the NCAA tournament. Last time it was Michigan State. They ended up number 1. And then the one before that, Florida, actually ended up number 1. So that was pretty interesting to see. But going for this bracket, I'm going to have to go with Duke. First off, somebody ended up voting for Stephen F. Austin. There's been some people who have found this bracket before I made the video, so that's pretty cool. And then I think Alabama's going to beat Oklahoma. Minnesota will beat Vermont. Xavier will beat Belmont. If Missouri had Michael Porter Jr., I would pick Missouri, but I don't know about if that's going to happen right now, so I'm going to have to go with Texas Tech. Cincinnati will beat South Dakota State. I think Florida State will beat Nevada. Florida will beat Florida Gulf Coast and then go on to face Florida State, so that there's like a little 3-team Florida area right there. We got the 10 seed Florida State, the 2 seed Florida, and the 15 seed Florida Gulf Coast. So back to the bracket. I'm going to go ahead and move Florida on there. Michigan State's going to beat the winner of Idaho and Texas Southern. I think St. Mary's will beat UCLA. Wow, there's actually an upset pick right there. They think that UT Arlington's going to beat West Virginia. Don't have to go with West Virginia on this one. I'm not too built up on UT Arlington yet. Then I have Miami, Florida beating Oakland. I'm going to go with Arizona. I think they'll figure it out. They're going to beat the winner of Michigan and Butler. North Carolina will beat Mercer. TCU will beat Tennessee. I think TCU's undefeated at the moment. Wichita State will beat Yale. Over here in the top right part of the bracket, we have Kansas beating UC Santa Barbara. I think Arizona State will beat Providence. I like Valparaiso pulling off the upset here against Gonzaga. Then Purdue will beat Middle Tennessee. And then Seton Hall will beat the winner of Temple and Oregon. Virginia will beat Buffalo. I think that Texas with Mohamed Bamba will beat Rhode Island. And Kentucky will beat UNC Asheville. Villanova will beat the winner of NC Central and St. Francis. I think Arkansas will end up pulling out the victory against the 9-seed Maryland Terrapins. I really want to pick Bucknell. They're going to be a trendy upset pick if they do make the NCAA tournament. But I'm also a UK fan, and I feel like people will just think I'm voting against U of L, so I'm going to have to go with Louisville there. They haven't really shown much so far this season, but I think they'll be able to turn it around. David Padgett can lead that program to an NCAA tournament first-round victory. USC will beat Charleston. I think Virginia Tech's going to upset Baylor. Texas A&M is going to beat New Mexico State. I think Creighton will beat SMU. Then Notre Dame will beat Iona. And this, for a spot in the Sweet 16, I got Duke beating Alabama. I got Minnesota with Richard Pitino beating Xavier. Then Cincinnati beating Texas Tech. Florida beating Florida State. Michigan State beating St. Mary's. Miami, Florida beating West Virginia. Then North Carolina beating Arizona. Then Wichita State beating TCU. Kansas beating Arizona State. Purdue beating Valparaiso. Then I have Seton Hall upsetting Virginia as a 6 seed. Then Kentucky beating Texas. Villanova beating Arkansas, USC beating Louisville, Texas A&M beating Virginia Tech, and then Notre Dame moving on against Creighton. So first spot in the Elite Eight, we got Duke beating Minnesota. I think that'll be a good game. Then Cincinnati, I think, will beat Florida. Then Michigan State will beat Miami, Florida. That'd be a rematch of last year's, I think, first-round matchup with an 8 and 9 seed. Wichita State will beat North Carolina. Kansas will beat Purdue. Kentucky will beat Seton Hall. Then I think that USC will pull off the upset here against Villanova. Then Notre Dame will beat Texas A&M. Then for a spot in the Final Four, we got Duke beating Cincinnati, Michigan State beating Wichita State, Kentucky beating Kansas. I know that Kansas beat them earlier in the season, but Kentucky's going to be able to turn it around, figure out who they are, figure out who the go-to guy is, and they'll pull out the victory there. Notre Dame will beat USC. And now for a spot in the national championship game. This is a national championship game caliber game right here between Duke and Michigan State. Duke won the first one, but Michigan State has been looking like a giant killer recently. They just destroyed North Carolina. They're pulling things together with Miles Bridges and Jaren Jackson. I'm going to have to go with Michigan State beating Duke. Then I think Kentucky will beat Notre Dame to move on into the national championship game. And then I'm a Kentucky fan, but I think that Michigan State's going to beat Kentucky. So there you have it. Those are my predictions based off of the current bracketology released by Joe Lunardi. I've included the link in the description for you guys to vote. Thank you guys for watching. Leave your reactions and thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you guys later.